Greetings and good day, everyone. No matter where you are and what part of the world you are in, I hope that you are having a good day. Okay, so this video is about um, some of the YouTubers that I've been watching lately. Now, um, so it's going to be about a few things. It's going to be a little bit about fasting, a little bit about vegetarianism, pescatarianism, and then veganism. And then I will introduce you to some of the YouTubers that I've been watching if you're not familiar with them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to share my story. So basically, I have been a pescatarian type vegetarian since 2001. What does that mean? The very first month that I decided, and I went cold turkey. So the very first month that I decided that I was no longer going to be a eat meat, I was working at Verizon Communications in Newark, New Jersey, and we had a Chinese restaurant called Amin's. It was a Muslim um, Chinese restaurant, so they all their food was halal, HALAL. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and look that up. And so almost every day I would just get broccoli and brown sauce. I wouldn't eat the rice, and I ate that a good portion of the month. Then I would also do salads, of course, and other vegetables with no starch and no protein. And for the first month of me becoming a vegetarian, I lost 20 pounds. And I have told this story before. For those of you who are already familiar with it, I apologize. But for those of you who are not, just sit back and enjoy the Nickie Brown experience. Okay, so then I started to incorporate starches back into my diet because I got bored. I'm an Aquarius. It's not hard for us to get bored. We don't like to do the same thing over and over again. We don't like to eat the same thing over and over again. I don't even have like leftovers, and I know that some people, that's what they do. They eat the same thing over and over again, and they do the same things over and over again because we are creatures of habit. But I like to step outside the box. So I got bored with just eating, vegetables with nothing else. So I started eating starches again. So then I became a junk food vegetarian because, cookies, cakes, chips, pasta, rice, potatoes, and not that some of those, are good to have in your diet, but in small portions. But when you're not eating meat and you don't really have anyone to show you the way, you kind of just do whatever feels right for you, and that's kind of what I was doing. Then I ended up meeting a sister, and she told me how to cook collard greens with no meat because she had been a vegetarian for about 30 years. And then, of course, being around my Aunt Stephanie, or Erit, is her African attribute, um, I learned a lot from watching her. So I made those changes accordingly, and my weight kind of went up and down, up and down, up and down. In like say 2015 or 16, I met an elder who basically told me I have too much yeast in my body. And so I went on a yeast diet. And that was right before my 40th birthday. And it's so ironic because I always get everything that I've asked for. And I say I want to be a certain weight by the time my birthday gets here. I was like, I want to get this weight off of me before my birthday. And I had been saying that for years. Like, before my 40th birthday, I'm not going to be this weight. I'm going to get this weight off. And about 3 months before my 40th birthday is when I met her, and she put me on the yeast diet. And the yeast, or the also called the Candida diet, is basically from eating starch. So I had to completely eliminate starch, including fruit, because fruit is sugar, and sugar turns into yeast in the body, and you're feeding, um, you know, the yeast basically. So for the most part, all I was allowed to eat was like green leafy vegetables, uh, um, like herbal tea, water, like herbal tea with nothing in it, which I was already accustomed to. I don't really put, only thing I really put in my herbal tea is um is lemon or lime, key lime for the most part. And if I feel like I need a sweetener, it's usually honey. So, excuse me. So, I oh, you know what else I would do? I would take some carob chips. So carob chips are vegan, and melt those down. Uh, and the unsweetened ones, because I think they do come sweetened and unsweetened, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't purchased them in a very long time, since 2015. But anyhow, I would take some carob chips and melt those down like chocolate chips, basically vegan chocolate chips. So I would melt those down. I would put some coconut flakes in it because coconut was the only fruit I could have. And pecans and sea salt. And so I would melt down the carob chips, add my coconut, my pecans, and a little sea salt, typically on top. And then I would put it in one of those little oval shaped Corningware dishes, and I would put it in the Frigidaire and let it get cold and harden up. And when I wanted something sweet, I would break off a piece and have that. But anyhow, that basically reset my body. And I have not gone back up to that weight, my highest weight, since. And again, that was in 2015. And I was like, oh, okay. Then after that, I was in Raleigh, and um, I was just running my business at that time, and Uber driving, doing little side jobs. I was volunteering. Um, but like I would get up in the mornings and I would make products. So I would, do some research and, you know, create my recipes. And I realized that sometimes it would be like 5 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten anything. Like I would be so busy and so consumed with focusing on my business that I really wasn't eating. And I realized that again, I had lost some weight. And then I realized it's called intermittent fasting. And I was like, oh, I was intermittent fasting and I didn't even know. And honestly, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not going to say that, the way that my income was set up, there were some times where I had to fast because I didn't have anything to eat at that time. So sometimes it was intentional and sometimes it was unintentional. But anyhow, again, I realized that that's one way you can lose weight. But I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was not trying. That was not my goal at all. I was just focused on what I was doing, and doing my best to, and making the best of the situation that I was in at that time. So it was like, okay, if you don't have this, then fast. And so I allowed my body to fast. But those were intentional fasts, kind of. Um, but me waking up, just getting my day started, working on my business, meditating, I would meditate, do all that kind of stuff, and then get right to work. I didn't have to look at the phone, you know, uh, but sometimes I would, of course, but sometimes I wouldn't even look at the phone until maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So again, I realized that these things help me lose weight. Not that I was trying in certain situations. That's so confusing. I'm sorry if you're confused. And so that's like another way to kind of reset your body by fasting. Um, of course, I'm no doctor, but I do recommend a 3-day fast. Doesn't have to be a dry fast. It could be a juice fast. It could be a water and herb fast. It could be fresh fruits and vegetable fasts, where you're just eating salads. I think Bill Cosby did that on the Cosby Show, where he was just eating celery and he was looking like he was miserable. So you could do a fruit and vegetable like cleanse, and have just fresh fruits and vegetables. So that could be salads. That could be just a bowl of fruit. That could be a wrap, like a lettuce wrap, where you get some like the romaine lettuce, and you fill that with some goody vegetables, and make a salad that way. One of my friends, when I would get a sandwich, she said, "Oh, you just got a salad on bread." So you can have a salad on the lettuce wrap, so that you're not consuming the carbs. You can even get some lettuce. Sorry, I didn't mean to say lettuce. I meant to say celery. You could get you a good celery stalk, and use that as your spoon and scoop up your salad with that. Whatever you decide to do, if you decide to do anything at all, because you're only going to do what you want to do, and I understand that. So this is not me telling anybody what to do, so please don't take it the wrong way. But anyhow, right now I've been working on a 90-day fast, and I have been fasting since December 10th. And I understand that you're not really supposed to tell anybody when you're going through a fast, but for me, this is to help other people, and I'm sharing what I'm doing and what I've been going through. So again, I've been a pescatarian type vegetarian since 2001, because I didn't tell you that I did incorporate fish back into my diet. So salmon, tuna, you know, doing my best not to have it fried, but fried whiting, fried red snapper, things of that nature. So I would say that I was 80% vegan, um, 10% vegetarian, and 10% pescatarian. Because I wouldn't eat fish every day at every meal, but I did eat it quite a bit. Tuna, I did say tuna, but like tuna steaks and, tuna. I do my best not to do anything in a metal can, because it causes, it's one of the things that leads to Alzheimer's and other degenerative diseases. So I will get the packs of tuna, the little pouches, or I would get a tuna steak, make it myself, and with a fork. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what that word is called. Flake it, whatever. I don't know. Um, and so, I would do that with pasta, with rice, with just vegetables, whatever I was in the mood for. I did my best, though, to have a vegetable at every meal. Did I always do that? No, because sometimes I would eat a sandwich and I wouldn't have lettuce and tomato on it. It would just be like the tuna. Um, I do know how to make. Okay. So again, back in like 19, no, maybe 2000, maybe like between like say 1998 and 2000, somewhere around in there is when I met the sister who told me to how to cook the collard greens with no meat. So I started doing that. And so I was like, okay, well, if I can do this with collard greens, I can pretty much do this with anything. So then I started making beans, anything, whatever I wanted. So I know how to prepare a vegetarian meal. I know how to prepare a vegan meal. It's just a matter of substituting. But now that I am doing this 90-day fast, it's not necessarily a good idea to look at food while you're fasting, because of course that is temptation, but I know that I'm going to stay on this journey because I know why I began this journey. So I'm not so concerned about that part. It's still not a good idea to put those things in your head, because really it's about building up the strength to not even go back and forth to the refrigerator and open it every 5 minutes. So watching food videos is a little counterproductive, but my purpose is, although I do know how to prepare vegetarian and vegan meals, um, I like to watch other people because other people are just as creative and come up with some great ideas and things that you would never think about, and things that you may miss. Now, I've said this before, I'm not such a big meat substitute person. Every now and then, if I get a taste for something, like, say, Italian sausage, or if I want some spaghetti with sausage in it, every maybe I'll say a handful of times a year. So, like, very limited. Um, I would say, "Ooh, I'm in the mood for a hot dog," and I'll get some vegan hot dogs, and put mustard on it. And but then what I've learned to do over the years is, if I'm craving, because in those times I might be craving mustard. Let's say it's not that I want the sausage, I may just want something that I can put mustard on. So at those times, I will go and research, okay, why is a vegetarian craving mustard? Because sometimes it's some type of vitamin deficiency that's causing me to think that. Sometimes it's a trigger. Something has happened and I'm triggered and reminded of, something that may have happened in the past, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And at that moment, it made me crave mustard. So then I have to say, okay, what just happened and why are you craving mustard? Is it emotional? Are you getting ready to emotionally eat? Or is this some type of vitamin deficiency? So I don't always jump to, oh, I'm going to go get that meat substitute. But sometimes I do. And again, that's about a few times a year. And, I'll go ahead and enjoy that. And then, that craving is out the way and that I move on. But for the most part, as a vegetarian, I eat my vegetables, whether they're cooked or raw. So if I'm going to enjoy a salad, a lettuce wrap, um, um, hummus, guacamole, um, beans, chickpeas. Again, I don't really do cans, so I do make my chickpeas fresh. I buy the bag and I make them fresh. Um, Smoothies, you know, fresh fruit or frozen fruit, whatever is convenient. I do my best to buy organic if and whenever possible, or from local farmers, or from like the Hispanic grocery stores, because their fruits and vegetables typically don't have as much pesticides as a conventional grocery store. I mean, not that they're not a conventional grocery store, but they're just usually smaller chain grocery stores. Um, Veggie burgers. Again, every once in a blue. I don't know. That's not something that I eat often. And here lately, say within the past 5 years or so, maybe even longer than that. I'm not really sure, but I've been doing my best not to consume soy because it's not necessarily good for the body. Um, but every now and then I will. Um, like, say if I go somewhere for a chai tea and they don't have anything except soy milk, I'll just say, go ahead and want to give me the soy milk. But again, now that I'm fasting, I'm wanting to transition from being a pescatarian to more of a vegan, and making that 80% more like 95%. So I'm not going to say that I will absolutely not consume any animal products, but I will do my best to. Um, um, my fast is over March 10th, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like in terms of, will I go out with some friends and everybody's having cheesecake and I decide, oh, let me just get a little bit. I might do that. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I'm not. Now, I also know how to make vegan cheesecake. Most people use cashews to get that creamy texture and that taste because, cashews are a sweeter nut. Um, but for those who follow Dr. Sebi's alkaline um, um, diet, he advises against cashews. So I do use walnuts more often than anything. Like I make my own walnut milk. However, comma, um, I do have some cashews. I'm not consuming them right now, obviously, because I am fasting. But when I am done, I am going to use those cashews to make, probably make a dessert. Another thing with certain nuts, they can form mold on them. So it's better you buy nuts that cost a little bit more because they will typically pick out the moldy ones. But if you get some nuts from some cashews from like a dollar store, you can see the mold on them, and they don't taste as good. So just be mindful of that. Also, I read somewhere that cashews, when you eat cashews, they actually cut the insides of your stomach like a razor. So again, I don't want to tell anybody not to eat and enjoy anything that they like. And I'm telling you that I have some cashews in my cabinet right now. And the only reason I'm not consuming them is because I am fasting. However, I am probably going to use them to make cheesecake, the little mini cheesecakes. Um, Not immediately after my fast, because you do have to slowly but surely work your way back up to eating regular. I will use dates to sweeten them. Um, I'm not going to get into all of that, but um, I hadn't had cashews in a long, 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 long time, and I had a taste for them. I wanted to put them in my smoothie, and I wanted to do something else with them. I think I wanted to mix them with the walnuts to make walnut and cashew milk. And then I think I may have seen a recipe on YouTube or something, but there was something that prompted me to get to buy those cashews. And I don't even think I don't even think I opened them before I started my fast. I probably had them maybe a week before I started my fast, if that. So it was like I bought them and then started fasting. So, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, one of the things that I really wanted to talk about was again transitioning from being less of a pescatarian type vegetarian and more of a vegan type vegetarian. Will I consume fish? I'm not sure. I know that my aunt was a vegetarian or a vegan. Nope, a vegetarian for over 30 years, for about 25, 30 years. But like I said, every now and then we might go to Junior's and, all have a slice of cheesecake as a family. I mean, like maybe once a year, but still, she would consume about 0.1% of animal products. Um, and like I said, I got a lot of recipes from her, so she would make her vegetables with pasta and, things of that nature. So I learned some things from watching her. And about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years, somewhere around in there, she said she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her that she needs to incorporate fish into her diet. So I'm assuming that's because she's a female, because I think she may have told me, but I don't really remember all the details. So I think it's because she's a woman and it has something to do with hormones. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. So please don't quote me on that, Auntie. If I'm wrong, it don't mean no harm. Because I don't remember the exact details, but I do remember her telling me that she needs to reincorporate fish back into her diet. So, um, I need to personally do more research because I've been the pescatarian. So, I would like to do more of the vegan. So, again, I know how to make vegan food. I know how to make vegetarian. I know how to prepare pescatarian, obviously. But I've just been getting ideas from other creative people, and I've been finding them to be very helpful so that when I do in my fast, I have a lot of ideas that I would like to try. Again, not a big meat substitute person, but there's a couple people that I'm going to mention. The first one being the Chic Natural. Now, I've been following her for years because she started out by doing natural hair videos. So, love her. A lot of her videos are about what I eat in a week or eat what I eat in a day, and she does share a lot of her vegetarians. I'm so proud of her. Like I said, I've been watching her for years, and she's just recently got to the point where she was able to buy herself a Porsche, baby. So I am so super proud of her and her accomplishments, and I am proud of her for becoming a vegan because I'm pretty sure she didn't start out that way. I have not seen like her video where she talked about why she became a vegan. I just randomly like, oh, that's the girl who does the hair videos. Let me watch her. And I started watching her, um, again, what I eat in a day videos. And she's very inspiring. She's a very pretty lady. No homo. I just don't mind giving where compliments are due. And you'll enjoy her YouTube channel. Another pretty lady, B for Real. The letter B, Foreal. I'm not sure if there's two R's. Forgive me if there is, but it's B for Real. And she does meat substitutes, but she makes everything for the most part, she makes everything from scratch. Like she did have some harder palms, um, and now those came from a can. And she made the crab cakes. Oh my goodness, they look so good. She made what else did she make? She made vegan fish with flower blossoms. I think that they're called. Um, Something blossoms. I had never heard of them, but banana blossoms, something along those lines. I had never heard them before I saw her video, and then ironically, there's another sister who I'm going to mention. She, I didn't watch the video, but I saw her talking about them, and I was like, oh, okay, so there's quite a few vegans who use the flower blossoms as a substitute for fish, so that's pretty cool to know. Hers did come out of a can. I'm assuming that you can get the heart of palms and the flower blossoms. And I think I'm saying it wrong. I know it's something about a blossom, honey. I don't know. Listen, listen. You'll get it. You'll figure it out. Just go to her. Just go to Be For Real and see her fish substitute. Fishing. It was fish and cauliflower grits. Oh my goodness, they look so so yeah, she made fish and cauliflower grits, the vegan crab cakes. Oh, she made sushi. Oh my goodness, it looks so good, and she rolled it herself. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm gonna do that. Some of those things, like making seitan, I may do it. I don't know. I definitely would need a bigger kitchen so that I can spread out more. Um, I shouldn't say that. I don't need a bigger kitchen. I would rather have a bigger kitchen so that I can spread out a little bit more and really do what I need to do with that. And then the sushi too. I commend her. I'm not sure if I'm going to try that, but it looks delicious. That's what I'm going to say. With certain things, if I have a taste for them, I will go to a restaurant. So I'm not even gonna front and say that I'm gonna sit here and make some vegan sushi, but it did look really delicious. Um, I I'm not sure. Again, I may try it. I may not try it. But 9 times out of 10, I will enjoy something like that at a restaurant and be satisfied. Um, yeah. And then it makes quite a bit of sushi. And really, for me, in my opinion, sushi is something that you should eat right then and there and not eat as leftovers. So, with as much, unless I just make like one roll, because she made 3 rolls. Um, she made one that's kind of like a Philly the cream cheese roll. She made one that had the red peppers on it, but it looked like tuna. And she used the nori sheets. Um, she made her own sticky rice in her pressure cooker. She made uh, the mock. I don't know if she called it tuna or salmon or crab, but she used the heart of no, she used chickpeas if I'm not mistaken. She either used chickpeas or heart of palm for that. And she added that onto, so there was 3 different rolls and they all had something different on them. But again, she was very creative and I was very impressed by some of the dishes that she came up with. um, and she will be in the Atlanta area. um, Valentine's Day weekend, her and another sister who I guess lives here or is from here. And by from here, I mean born and raised here. I know that some people say, "Oh, where are you from?" Meaning, where do you live right now? For me, that doesn't mean that. For me, it means where were you born. So she either lives here or she's from here, and they are doing a collaboration dinner for Valentine's Day weekend, both that Saturday and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, or that Friday and Saturday, because it's like the 12th and 13th. Because I must Valentine's Day must be on a weekday. The tickets are, you can, if you go to Be For Real, you'll see one of her videos, and you'll be able to go to her Eventbrite. I can't remember what the theme of the dinner is called, but the tickets are between $100 and $130, and if I'm not mistaken, you get 6 courses, so it is well worth it. Um, you know, she said, I think that you have to be tested for COVID to make sure you don't have COVID. So they're going to take all those necessary precautions. I'm not sure how big of a space they've rented. I don't know how many tickets they've sold so far. So if that's something that concerns you, being around a lot of people, then that may be something you want to think about. But if you are confident and you're the type who takes the necessary precautions, you may want to enjoy that vegan dinner. Um, as a single person, bring a friend, or as a couple. They said it doesn't matter. Um, so there's that. There's another guy who I stumbled across on yesterday. I did not watch the video that I'm about to tell you about. It just caught my attention, and I thought it was interesting enough to share. And his YouTube channel is called Eat More Plants. And he prepares vegan fine dining dishes. So again, I thought that was very interesting. Haven't watched any of them yet, but I am looking forward to checking some of those out because when you do have a boo or you have friends or family over and you want to impress them and everybody's a vegan or you want them to try some vegan food, I think that's a great idea to serve um, yourself, and a spouse, or others. So I just wanted to share that one. Um, Another guy, I call him like the science guy for vegans. He's the vegan science guy. And his YouTube channel is called Sauce Stash. So like mustache, but without the must. So take the MU, sorry, off a mustache, and it's just sauce, spelled the normal way, stash. And the reason why I call him the science guy is because he comes up with all kinds of creative dishes. He even made vegan shrimp because he's like, okay, they process these in a plant on a big level. How can I make these on a small level? And he actually came up with something. I will let you go to his channel and watch that. Um, but for those who miss shrimp or fish, again, Be For Real and Sauce Stash, those are two that you might want to check out because they're all about um, making those things that you would normally miss, like seafood. Um, um, yeah, both of them are really good at, mock seafood dishes, I would say. I think both of them have a seitan video, um, and other mock meat videos. So those two, if you're feeling like you would miss meat, those two are definitely two good ones to check out. The Chic Vegan, she just is, more about the vegetables. I haven't really seen her do any mock meat or fish. I think though that she does shop at Whole Foods a lot, so she will buy the frozen mock meats. Um, she said when she's not in the mood to cook, but I think she does more cooking um, with just vegetables and protein. I'm not in protein and like beans and rice and pasta and stuff like that. Um, so they all have a different way of doing things. And last but not least, because I only wanted to do five, Tabitha Brown. I said this in another video. I'm not that familiar with. I want to say that she's an actress. I'm pretty sure she's an actress, but I'm not very familiar with her work, and I do apologize for that because, no offense. I just randomly happened to see something a few months ago, sometime last year. I don't know if it was one of her vegan videos or if it was something else. An interview. Well, I think it may have been an interview. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember how I became familiar with her. However, um, within the last, say, month or so, I have been watching her a little bit more. She is funny. I like when she would have all the different colors on each nail. I have done that before. So I love her personality, and I think that she's very creative. Um, and I watched maybe 5 or 6 of her videos yesterday, but they were mainly restaurant reviews, vegan restaurant reviews. Um, there was a couple restaurants in Chicago. So I'm excited to visit Chicago. I still haven't been yet. And I keep saying I'm going to go during the Taste of Chicago. And of course, during the 19, we couldn't go anywhere because that was the year that I did decide to go, but that didn't work out. Um, so, one of the videos that she made that I was really impressed by was deviled eggs. And she used mushrooms and chickpeas, and it looked so good. And she said it was good. She pickled the mushrooms first. I'll let you watch her video. I'm not going to tell you her recipe. I'll let you go ahead and watch her deviled egg video. The other thing she made was mock tacos, and she used pecans for the meat part, and she seasoned them up good, um, honey, and I'm telling you, those things look so good. So I think she's more on the raw vegan side. Of course, chickpeas aren't raw, but I think, again, and I'm saying it this way because I admit that I have not watched a whole lot of her videos. Um, I know that there was some controversy with her husband, and that may have been what drew me to her. That might have been what it was. I don't really remember though. Um, and when I say controversy, I think she did a video and she snapped at him, and people made a big deal about it. But that's their business and none of mine. And But it did create a buzz around her and her name. Um, so that's that. I'm not even, that ain't none of my business. um, but yeah, it had the pecan meat, and then she made some pineapple salsa to go on top, and she put it all together, and her brother was sat there and ate, and it looked so good, and they talked about how good it was. So I was impressed by that. I think it might have been, was it something else? I don't remember. Um, like I said, a lot of the videos were restaurant reviews. Like her family went to a vegan Mexican restaurant, and that was very interesting. I was like, wow. And like she said, you wouldn't think that. Excuse me, sorry. You wouldn't think that Mexicans would have vegan food, but they do. And again, I'll let you watch the video, but the son kind of told the story as to how they became vegan. So you go ahead and check out her video. Then she had, let me see. I think she went to two different restaurants in Chicago. Maybe it was the Mexican restaurant and another one. But let me see. Yeah, the Mexican restaurant in Chicago. Oh, Kale My Name. Kale My Name. In Chicago. So okay, I watched one called that one was back in April, where she did Kale My Name. A review, it was a restaurant review. And I'm assuming, because she has a 2-minute video, and the title is Celebrating the Kim Coles at My Restaurant Kale My Name. Now, I don't know where she lives, but I know she's from the South. And I don't know if she lives in LA. But there was a picture of her on the wall. So I'm assuming she opened a Kale My Name franchise wherever she lives. And Kim Coles came out to celebrate her birthday at that restaurant. So that the Kale My Name restaurant review, that was in April, and the Kim Coles. So Kim Coles is a Capricorn because she has on Capricorn Girl Magic T-shirt, and it's 2022. So that is a recent video. I don't remember what day. It might have been the 12th or something like that. So I was impressed by that. And the vegan deviled eggs. And she's funny because she had another little video where she said, be your own family that do you wrong. And basically, she was fasting for like 3 days or something like that. And her family asked her to make them food, and so she prepared them vegan food. I think they're half and half. That's how I was with my son growing up. I did not force him and my sister to be a vegetarian, so I would still prepare meat for them, and I would just make. So if I made a vegetable, a starch, and a meat, of course I would just eat the meat and the vegetable, and I would feed them the meat. So that's pretty much how I did that. Or I would make myself something completely different. But anyhow, her daughter asked her to make her some spaghetti. And she said, it be your own family that do you wrong. I got to sit up here and make spaghetti and I can't eat. It was so cute. And then once she got done with the spaghetti, her daughter was sitting up there. You know how you sing and dance when you eat? And she was like, really? That was so funny. Too funny. So, go ahead and check her out. So that's Tabitha Brown, Sauce Stash, Eat More Plants, Be For Real, and The Chic Natural. All right, y'all. I've talked enough. Thank you for watching. I can't believe it's 44 minutes and 47 seconds. Right now it's 45, but anyway, that's when I looked at the time. That's what it said. Um, so that means 9 is completion. That means it's time for me to be done. But as always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Later.